That's just sports, baby.
Crowd goes wild, strawberry ice bringing fire and style. Reds, Bengals, Bearcats, all in my zone. This is my stage, my mic, my throne. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door. Step into the ring where the passion ignites. Talking sports all day and all night. From the field to the court to the roaring stands. Strawberry ice with the world in my hands. Boom, like a hammer, I'm breaking the game. Strawberry ice, you're gonna know my name. Sports Talk Thunder, hear the podcast roar. Cincy's fine is kicking down the door.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the show. This is Sports with Strawberry Ice. I'm your host, Iceman Jeff Trunapole. And as always, I bring you sports from a West Side point of view right here in the great city of Cincinnati, Ohio. And you know it, I'm always coming to you live from that ice cave.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Party Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Party Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also, shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
That's right. It is NFL mock draft season, but I do have some news of the show. I will be like last year, I did a live show for the Moorline Lager House the night before Reds opening day. Well, this year I'm doing the same thing, but it's going to be at the Montgomery Inn Boathouse. It is for the Reds Community Fund. And if you guys watched any of that show last year, it's a very long podcast. I jump in and out, but I usually get some really good guests. I had Marty Brennan on there last year. I had the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley on there. I'm hoping to get Jim Day on this year and some more of the Reds broadcasters and maybe some former players. I mean, last year, Todd Frazier was walking around there. So who knows who I'll get on this year, but make sure you guys check that one out. That'll be the night before Reds opening day. But we are not talking baseball today. We're talking football. And what in the world are the Bengals going to do at 10? Hopefully they do a lot of stuff in free agency. But we're talking draft right now. And with that being said, we get the man who lives, breathes the draft. I mean, he was down in Alabama. Well, he's down in Alabama, but he was at the Senior Bowl practices and everything last week. He is from, I don't know, deep fried draft countdown, all kinds of stuff. He's Brian Bosarge. What's up, Brian? How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, good to be back on with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is a yearly thing we got to do. You know, usually we get the draft going, and we got to get some talk here. My screen is messed up, so I'm playing around with this right now. So I'll just start off right now. What do you think the Bengals are going to do at 10? Are we going to go with Caleb Downs? Is it going to be Peter Woods? Is Ruben Bain going to be there? Or is it going to be somebody we're not even thinking of?
Oh, man, I want it to be Caleb Downs.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah, I mean, that is kind of the dream at this point. I mean, or I guess another dream would maybe a more far-fetched one would be Arvell Reese falls down the board.
Yeah.
And gets to 10. I don't know. But I guess it depends on how many other NFL teams question the arm length of Bain.
Right.
Does that push him to 10? It feels like it'll probably be Peter Woods just because that's maybe the least sexy pick, the one that maybe nobody's going to want. So that's the one it's going to be. It almost assuredly has to be defense, though, right?
I would think so. Well, I mean, it also depends on what they do in free agency,
right?
If they do anything at all.
Yeah, That's a big if, right?
That's a big if, yeah.
That's a big if. I mean, I saw some other people on Twitter talking about it the other day. I don't hate like someone like if you venture off the defensive path, which I think would be a hard sell to the fan base,
right,
after last season. But you could talk me into Kenyon Sadiq from Oregon, the tight end.
Okay,
I would hear it. I would hear Jeremiah Love, the running back from Notre Dame. I would hear it. I don't feel like it's likely,
right,
but I could hear it. But I like I said, to circle back, I think the dream scenario, and like I said, and it being safety, that's a lot of for reasons they fall down the board. I don't know why.
Well, I got a question for you on that, because I've had lots of people say Caleb Downs won't be there. I think there's a very good chance he will be, because safety doesn't get drafted that high. I mean, why do I always forget his name? The Pro Bowl Hall of Famer from the Baltimore Ravens, safety, Ed Reed. He was drafted 22nd. I mean, he's drafted 22nd. We can sure as heck can get Caleb Downs.
I mean, the other Pro Bowl safety from the Ravens currently, Kyle Hamilton, was drafted 14th. Mm-hmm. The highest drafted safety I can remember in recent memory, maybe I might be mistaken, and maybe it was someone else, but it was Sean Taylor was the 6th overall pick.
There you go.
So it's the position is just not valued that with high draft capital. Although, I mean, it's and look, what was the other one? Derwin James, was pick 17, I think. So, like I said, these guys fall down the board. I don't know why they do, because there's such a huge impact on your team,
right?
But it's like, but for some reason they just consistently fall down the board. It makes no sense to me. But so I think it's a good chance Downs is available. Now, how sick are we all going to be if he goes 9 to Kansas City to pick before us?
Don't speak that to existence, Brian.
Look, man, I don't want to, but it just. I know how the luck of this franchise is, man.
Exactly. I mean, that's what happened last year. I mean, they wanted Walter Nolan last year, and he got picked right before them.
17.
Or pick
Frank Ragnow.
Yep.
And then Billy Price.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great.
Exactly. So, all right. So my question is, so this is a deep safety draft, and with it not being a very deep interior defensive line draft, is there a scenario where you can see the Bengals going, well, we really need an interior defensive lineman. Caleb Downs is there, but Peter Woods is there. We probably can get a pretty good safety in the second round. Let's go with Peter Woods.
Yeah, and again, like I said, I think it depends on who are the edge guys there. I'm not really. I mean, I've seen some mock drafts with corner at 10, Jermod McCoy.
I've heard
but that scares me considering he didn't play the entirety of 2025.
But he is a shutdown freaking corner.
Yeah, he was super. He was super good, and like I said, that would. I mean, I would assume it would allow you to move Dax inside.
That's what I would think. Yeah, and the thing is, like.
And they haven't drafted a corner in the first round in a while, so they're due.
And they love drafting corners in first rounds. They will draft a corner over a safety in the first round in a heartbeat. They have no problem whatsoever with that.
So you could even entertain Mansour Delane, the corner from LSU, who's my number one corner in the class, basically because of the injury. Yep, there you go. I have Delane as the number one corner in the class.
He says, I like Downs 10 more than anything. But if you do take a safety, I like VJ Payne. I don't know anything about him. What do you know about VJ Payne?
So VJ Payne's a big safety, 6'3", 210. Was down here at the Senior Bowl, had a good week. Was one of the better standouts of the safeties that actually showed up, that said they were going to show up. And I would imagine, without having the combine data in yet,
right,
that he's available with the 4th round pick.
Ooh. There's a scenario you see them taking. I mean, they need 2 safeties, but is there a scenario you see them taking 2 safeties in a draft? I would be shocked.
Again, franchise history tells us they tend to double dip the years at positions at years with the position groups not deep. Like Like last year, they double dipped at linebacker in what was not a good linebacker class. This year was one of the best off-ball linebacker classes I've seen in a long time. This would have been the year to double dip at that position. They probably won't take one at all.
I'm with you. I've said that because I think they should add to that room either free agency or the draft.
Yes, if they have any defensive position that they attack in free agency, linebackers should be at the top. They need a veteran in there.
Yes.
Demario Davis from New Orleans, who's been in the league for like 14 years now. Get that guy on a 2-year X amount dollar deal. Get him in there to lead these athletic young pups that you drafted last year that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and get them some leadership. Let them learn from this guy. That's a guy. That's a guy you bring in.
Yeah, it would remind me of when Josh Baines was here. Josh Baines or Josh Downs. The linebacker was here when
I remember who you're talking about. His name escapes me. Josh Bynes.
Yes, Josh Bynes.
Yes.
He was here the year before with the Super Bowl with Logan Wilson and Pratt, and that helped. I mean, I was one that wanted to bring him back the next year, but it turned out it was fine. But that's what I've said a lot. Is we need a linebacker that could start, but doesn't necessarily have to start. You know, if the rookies or the second-year guys are playing good, great. But I want a veteran in that room, and I'd almost rather that than draft one, to be honest. But if Sonny Styles is there, it'd be kind of hard to for me to pass him up, dude.
That's the other position that gets devalued in the first round is the off-ball linebacker. Now, you know, you have two of those guys from the same school projected into this first round. Arvell Reese is a little bit different because he gives you some edge capabilities too, and where I don't necessarily think that's the case with Sonny Styles, but with Sonny Styles, you know, he's a pure off-ball linebacker, but is super good.
Super good.
So it's like but I don't see that being a pick option at 10. I don't. Yeah, I think he's more along the lines of the mid 18 to 20 range. This is another draft where I don't think we're going to see a whole lot of action trade wise.
Okay.
Because I just don't think there's a whole lot of teams that are going to want to come up.
It's not a big quarterback draft either.
Right. That's what generally drives the action.
Right.
So that the Bengals sitting at 10 in a trade down scenario is not. They never do it anyway. But two, it's like I don't know who would want to come up. I would love to go back, pick up a third and some other maybe picks and get someone like Lee Hunter in the 18 to 24 range. Would love that. But I don't see that being much of an option.
Now I got a question because I am concerned. I think we'll be able to address. We should we'll just take the left. We should be able to address the safety area room with free agency and the draft. There's plenty of guys out. They better. My concern is because there is the lack of talent available free agency and the draft is the interior line. Peter Woods is pretty much it, and people I've heard him sliding down. Now we got a ways to go. We haven't even done the combine yet. There's some people that said he might make it to the Bengals in the second round, which I think would be freaking unbelievable. But do you have him sliding down at all, or is that just crazy talk right now?
You're hearing it because there's a lot of people chattering. It's not just necessarily a lot of people are questioning the effort, so to speak, and why did his production just tank this past season? I mean, and because it wasn't just him on that Clemson defense this year. A lot like towards it was T.J. Parker was the other but at least he attempted to rehab himself this week at the Senior Bowl, where Peter Woods probably should have come down here and done the same thing. You get that a lot with the other defensive tackle that was at the Senior Bowl, other than Lee Hunter, was Caleb Banks from Florida.
Yeah,
he's another one, but he only played 3 games this season. But his effort was called into question. His interviews that you heard some rumors about his poor interviewing at the Senior Bowl as well. Take that for what you will. he's another one that the talent is clearly there along with Woods, but it's the effort where Lee Hunter is, you know, a madman out there, and he dominated every day of practice this week. But he's also older than some of the guys. And then you have the Ohio State guy but tends too early for him. And I think he's just a pure run stuffer. I don't see much pass rush upside with Caden McDonald. So
do you see a scenario where, which is to be crazy, I wouldn't do it. But what if I can't remember his name, slips me right now, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, if he's there at 10 and everybody else is gone.
Carnell Tate.
Yeah. If Carnell Tate is there and Woods is gone, Downs is gone, and Baines is gone.
As fun as that would be, fun as that would be, I cannot see you selling.
I can't.
Three wide receiver ones on your team.
I can't. Me personally. But it's the Bengals, and they love wide receivers. And
I get that, but the Bengals also have a history of second-round wide receivers. Now,
true,
and we can get to into that later. But I think if I'm the Bengals and I'm targeting one wide receiver in this draft class, give me Zachariah Branch at pick 40 in the second round out of Georgia. I want a guy who's a complete opposite of T. Higgins. I want a guy I'm going to put in the slot that creates his own separation, and when he gets the ball in his hands, he can score from anywhere. Also, he's one of the best return men in this draft class. Give me that guy at pick 40. Then give me Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson or Mekhi Lemon or Denzel Boston or any of the other wide receivers in the first round. Give me a Zachariah Branch. Give me an Omar Cooper Jr. Give me one of those guys in the second round, third round.
Houday here's got another. Let's see here. He said Leo Channel is also nice.
As a linebacker, the free agent linebacker.
Yeah, and then, Lee Hunter. The age only pushes me away from him.
Is he 23 or 24? I'd have to look that up. I know he's a fifth-year player. He started at Auburn. He was a 5-star out of Auburn, was there 3 years, transferred to UCF, was there a year, and then transferred to Texas Tech this year. So he's a fifth year removed from high school. But I don't know how old he was coming out of high school. I know he went to high school like 8 miles from here. But I don't know. I don't know how old he was coming out of high school. I'd have to look that up.
And our boy Crypt Keeper wants to know where your Gamecock gear is. Why are you not wearing it? There you go. Take that, Crypt. He's got always within arm's reach. All right, so Caleb Downs here. I do want to go back to him, and I do believe there's a very good chance he'll be there as long as he gets past Kansas City. Because I think Kansas City is going to be more of an edge guy there if there is one. How much of a game changer can he be for this defense and all he can do? Because he could be the Kyle Hamilton. He could be the Troy Polamalu, in my opinion, anyway. He could be that guy. Hell, he could be the Jesse Bates. You know, he could be that dude, I think. And do you think it would be instant, like week one, he's making plays on the field? How does this game translate to the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, he can be any or all of that. I mean, you wouldn't have to take him ever off the field, ever.
Right. Mm-hmm.
You know, and him with Jordan Battle, they're not even close to being the same player. So, like, what Jordan Battle does best, you know, Kyle Hamilton also does that, but does everything else. He has so much range. You know, like you said, you can bring him down. You can line him up as a linebacker.
Right.
You know, on some downs. I mean, they've done it. You can put him in the slot, you can cover tight ends with him in man. I mean, he can do it all. I think he's my number one prospect in this draft class. And unless he absolutely bombs the combine, if he even tests at the combine, I'm not sure if he will.
I hope he doesn't.
You know, and maybe he doesn't even test at the Ohio State Pro Day. I don't know. Some prospects are doing that now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of like you're so high right now, you could like almost you got to be perfect. You almost could hurt yourself more than help yourself because your stock is so big right now. So that's where I'm that's where I'm kind of like I don't know if he should. I mean, that makes sense to me. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like people have come at me and like, oh, we gotta get Peter Woods. Oh, we gotta get Ruben Bain. I don't think Ruben Bain's going to be there. To be honest, do you think? I think Bain's going to go higher. I think what he did in the playoffs shot him up to a top. I don't know what 7, 8 pick. Maybe I don't think he's going to make it to 10.
That seemed to be the word coming out of Senior Bowl too. The chatter from NFL folks that wasn't necessarily relayed to me, but relayed to me third, fourth hand, right? You know, that I've heard that everybody loves Ruben Bain. They love Akeem Mesidor too. They don't think he gets out in the first round. And speaking back about the age of Lee Hunter, Mesidor is another one that's an older prospect. He's a 6th year out of college. You know, he had some injury issues in a medical red shirt at Memphis, I believe. So, you know, he's another of the age issues, but he's another one I think is a top, 30 prospect in this class. Maybe he goes in the first round, Mesidor. Maybe he's on the board at 40. We picked 40 in the second round, right? That sounds right.
I'm pretty sure. I think that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know we're 10. I haven't looked that far yet. Like you are the first person
yes, because so every round, because New Orleans, Kansas City, and Cincinnati all had the same record. So in the second round, we go to the top of that. So it's the 8th pick in the second round, and then it'll go in order. A third round will be different. Fourth round. So speaking of second, well, actually, let me get the Huday's question real quick. I'll get your second right here. Thoughts on Dominique Orange? He's had some injury issues this season, and that kept him out of the Senior Bowl as well. I don't think he's a dominant player. I think he's a solid player. I think he's what you already have on the roster, to be honest. I don't know how much of a bigger impact you would get from him outside of, say, what you're getting from Chris Jenkins already or something like that. So I don't necessarily think he is anything different than what you already have.
Okay, so let's get to second round here. And I do want to let's just say they take Caleb Downs first round. Is there, if Peter Woods is not there, is there an interior defense lineman worth taking at 40 or which way do you think they would go?
So at that point you start bringing in the not necessarily the question mark guys, but guys I've talked like a guy like I talked about earlier. Is Caleb Banks still on the board? You bring him into the conversation. Darrell Jackson Jr. Dominated the Shrine Bowl, came into the Senior Bowl for 2 days after he played in the Shrine Bowl. Had a good 2 days of practice down here as well. Chris McClellan from Missouri, I think despite being 310 pounds, 20 pounds, I think he has some pass rush upside to his game. He's another one that I think. Kristen Miller from Georgia is an underclass player, that has had his ups and downs, but I think he's going to be on the board in that range as well. So those would be some second round targets.
We got John just saying hello from Michigan here. He's always saying hi from snowy.
Yeah, my brother lives in near the Central Michigan campus the other day and texted me a picture that was minus 18 degrees. And I'm like, how do you guys live like that? I don't know.
Dude, it's snowing here right now again. It's God.
I can't live like that, man.
It was. How did you make it last week down there in the Senior Bowl? It was kind of cold for you guys, man.
So during the first 1.5 practices, because they changed the practice times this year. It used to be from 9:30 to 11:30, then 12 to 2. Well, this year they changed it to 1:30 to 3:30 and 4 to 6. So for the first 40 minutes of the second practice, it was fine. The sun was out. There was no clouds any day during the week. Sun was out. But once that sun started going down, man, it got cold quick.
You're like, hey, we ain't used to this.
No, sir. And then it was I think the wind chill during the game on Saturday was 20-something degrees. I don't know. I was in the press box. So I didn't care. But all those other people outside, man, they were
You're like, I'm staying up here where it's nice and warm. But dude,
yes.
I'm in a basement right now. I got 2 heaters going on. I got one going right here by my feet. I got the other one going on over there. So it's freaking cold here. And supposed to warm up. Actually, yesterday it was warm. It was like 30 degrees. That's the first time we were above out of the teens.
It was it got up to the mid 60s here today.
Oh, that'd be.
But I don't think that's going to last. But it did get up to the mid 60s today.
Mid 60s, we'd be wearing shorts up here. All right, see here. Hoodie's got another question here for you. Another guy, Max Clare, if I'm saying this name right. We nice pick up too.
Tight ends are weird this year. I like Max Clare. I've got him as my number 3 tight end in this class, and if he were available in the 3rd round, maybe it depended on what else is on the board. Could be a guy they target. There's some 4th round targets I think they could use at tight end as well, like Justin Jolie from NC State, Sam Roush from Stanford, Tanner Koziol from Houston. Few guys there. I think Claire's in the 3rd round area, along with Michael Trigg from Baylor. Sadiq obviously is the top of the class. And there's a wide gap between tight end 1 and tight end 2 in this group.
So do you see the Bengals taking a tight end in this draft? I would be surprised. I think there's.
I would as well because you've got what 4 under contract already.
Yeah, and we got
if you count, I guess Gesicki counts as a tight end.
Yeah, he's listed as one, but we got oh crud, what is it?
They just re-signed Hudson, right? They extended Hudson.
Well, we got the kid from Iowa.
Eric All.
Eric All, yeah.
I think that you get. Hopefully he's recovered because if he gets back to what he was as a rookie, that is a whole another element to the offense that they did not have last year. But again, you don't know coming off. He's had multiple ACL surgeries on both knees now at this point. Mm-hmm. If you get anything out of him, that's a bonus, right? But yes, you've got him. I'm assuming Sample's still under contract.
I think so.
I'm just assuming he's never going to go away ever. So
probably not. As Dale likes the football god there, Drew Sample. But yeah, Eric All, if he can get back to what he was, or anywhere close to that, he's your number 1 all-around tight end. You could play him every down. He's exactly what you want in a tight end, and that is something that the Bengals do not have. They were hoping Noah Fant would be that this year, but that didn't really work out so much. I was actually kind of surprised.
Is he still under contract, or is he?
No, that was a 1 year.
That was a 1 year.
Yeah.
That was one of them 1 year's tight end deals that didn't work out, right?
Nah, not really. He only fumbled the ball I think 2 or 3 times his whole career. I think he fumbled it 4 times this year alone.
And 2 got returned for touchdowns?
Yeah, something like that. I was like, man, it was not a good year for Noah Fant whatsoever. All right, so what are some other so interior line and edge? Everybody's gonna talk about defense. We need to address the defense. And Duke Tobin said this. He wants to get a pass rush. So how many, just in your opinion, as a Bengals fan and a draft expert, how many defensive guys are we going to draft? Is this going to be purely all? I don't think it's going to be all defense. I think we got to get a running back. We might perhaps get an offensive lineman in there too, potentially be a swing. But how many defensive guys do you think? You think the first 4 picks, maybe 5 picks would be defense?
It doesn't seem like that's history tells us that won't be the case,
right?
But I would say 4 of the 7 picks are going to be defense, right? I feel like you're going to draft at least 1 offensive lineman, like you said. Either maybe you don't draft a running back or a tight end, but you draft one or the other, right? And maybe, like I said, depending on if they can get that shifty slot guy, that can be the difference maker. That can be a difference maker on the offense. Maybe you spend a high capital pick on that.
Do you think they go as high as 3? Because I really don't think they're going. I think 4th round might be the earliest they would go slot. Wide receiver. I think because I think they want defense so much. Is just.
Yeah, it's possible, and there'll be a bevy of guys there. I just really like Zachariah Branch. But there will be a bevy of guys there, and this is a good pass rusher class too on the edge. There's guys to be had that not starter guys. But there are rotational guys that you can bring in the 4th or 5th round that are going to give you probably more sacks than what you got for Shamar Stewart last year.
All right. So what, all right. Since you brought that up there, this is the elephant in the room. What's your thoughts on Shamar? And I've had people say, since we are lacking in interior pass rush, to have him put a couple pounds on and kick him inside. I say don't do that because I want him to have a normal offseason and stay where he's at. And I'm not saying never put him inside, but do both so he can acclimate to the NFL. And then maybe next year, if he does really good, then maybe do that. But what's your thoughts on possibly kicking him inside as almost as a permanent thing almost?
I wouldn't say do it as a permanent thing, but do it like you did with him last year.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying.
I almost feel like his best success came when he, on those third downs where you kicked him inside and Miles Murphy and Osai were coming off the edge, and you got three pass rushers, on the field simultaneously. I thought that was very beneficial to them.
Yeah. Are you out on him? Because I'm not out on him. I have people like,
Shamar Stewart. No, I'm not out on him because he's an athletic freak.
Yeah.
And you don't give up on guys like that.
Nope.
It's the same thing with Miles Murphy. He was another good tester, and the light bulb finally went off.
Well,
right?
It's fine playing him too. Getting playing time helps.
It does help. And I can't speak for the rest of the Bengals fan base because I know some have soured already. I want Trey back.
I do too. I want him back. I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't either. I think the bridges have been napalmed at this point, but I would love to have him back.
I would take him back in a heartbeat. The other thing I would do, though, if they're not going to be able to keep him, and people are like, you're crazy for saying this, but I would tag him and trade him. Now, people are like, well, what if you get stuck with the tag? Well, the way it works is you work out a trade with some other team, and then you tag him and trade him. That's how this all works. And I would try to get him to the NFC. I would control where he's going so he doesn't end up in Baltimore or Pittsburgh.
I mean, your best case would be someone like Detroit or Chicago if you can work out a trade with one of those guys. I don't see that being a thing that they do. It just doesn't feel like something they would do because it's competent. So
it would make too much sense to do.
I'm so like that. I won't get into this today because it's a draft show, but I have my thoughts and
you can get into it.
I don't have. All right,
good.
You guys are all you guys at all the show I've done. I do your show. I do Dale's show. I do Bengal Jim's show. All you guys are Cincinnati bred, born, everything. Cincinnati is everything to you guys.
Right.
It ain't shit to me. I live in Mobile, Alabama. I am a 1,000-mile away fan.
Right.
I want this team owned by competent ownership that puts competent people in place to do it. At this point, I would settle for the Saudi Royal Fund to buy this team and do something with it, right? I want to win a Super Bowl.
Me too.
I say that tongue in cheek. I don't really want that, but did you see what I'm saying?
I totally understand.
Do you tell me there ain't one of these private hedge fund dickholes that live in Cincinnati that can buy this team and keep it there?
Well, the thing is, it's not a matter if they can buy it. Is the Browns ain't going to sell it?
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. That number is creeping up high. Seattle's about to get sold for $9 billion. And between $8 and $9 billion, because one, I think Bezos is going to buy them. That seems to be the rumor du jour out there right now.
Why does Bezos just buy the Bengals? That would work. I take that. Hell, Elon Musk, he's got all kinds of AI stuff and everything now. You just he can buy the Bengals. We can have all AI scouts. Hey, I'm with you on your point. Your point is you want a competent owner to do. I've said this.
What other teams do?
Yeah, do what other teams do. And take the freaking layups. Do stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't like right now. Like somebody put in the comment, why is Dalton Risner signed? I don't know. We're re-signing. They should have
been done already.
Yeah, he should have left the locker room after.
This should have been done before Week 17 ended. Then you could have put a chunk of the cap into last year.
Right. That's the stuff they don't do. That's what it's the whole thing with the way they structured T's contract. They cost themselves more money and how they structured it. They could have did it differently. I mean, Joe Burrow has come out and said I will restructure my contract, which you can do that and you can break it up and you can get more money this year to spend in free agency. I mean, this is stuff that we want them to do, and they just don't do it.
I'm not necessarily saying do what the Saints do and start every season $60 million over the cap, but do what the Eagles do what the Chiefs do what the Ravens do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not everybody's agreeing with you here.
Yeah, the Amazon Seattle. Yeah, but what was it? Look at the Rams. Look at what has happened from when we lost to them in the Super Bowl to now. They completely tore that team down to the studs, except for Stafford.
Yep,
and built it back up faster
than we did.
Yeah,
they went from them picks to picking Puka Nacua.
Give me all them picks.
Yeah, they got Puka Nacua in the 5th round. I mean, they got guys in the 5th, 6th round that are Pro Bowlers.
You know what I find funny about them or interesting? They're the only team with the exception of the 2 Super Bowl teams. Mm-hmm. The Rams are the only team that doesn't send anybody to Mobile for the Senior Bowl.
Really?
But they'll draft Senior Bowlers every year. They just don't send anybody down here.
Huh.
Any of the power structure anyway. Their scouts come down here, but not their no GM, no Snead, no McVay, none of the coaches come down here.
So who was down there for the Bengals?
I'm not 100% sure. I know they had one of their coaches, their assistant offensive line coach, I believe, was coaching the offensive line on one of the teams. But that's all I know.
We'd have like Duke Tobin or.
I'm sure Duke Tobin was down here, but I didn't see him because they're on the other side of the stadium.
I got you.
But I did see a couple of their scouts when I was downtown doing something. I saw a couple, whatever the 2 scouts they do have. They were here.
That's what's sad. We laugh about it, but it's true. We got a couple.
That's all they have.
Yeah. It is what it is. I mean, and that's where, like, all right, I'll put it to you this way. This is what I said last year. It seemed like they wanted to go deeper in free agency, but their excuse, it sounded like, was, well, we were tied up with the stadium deal and Jamar and T. I'm like, okay, well, that's why you have other people. You have scouts. They've got 3 or 4 assistant GMs. I'm not sure who they're assisting because we don't have a GM, but why don't you have them go work on some of these contract deals or stuff like this? I mean, you had these guys in the building. What do they do? That's my, like, yeah, okay. We got the smallest department. Well, that means you have to work harder. You're making it harder on yourself. You got to work harder to get this stuff done. So that's where I'm like, you got guys there. What did all 4 of these GM assistants do? I mean, that's what there's guys there. And that's what drives me nuts. It's like,
and what do the Ravens have, like 32 people in their scouting department?
Well, yeah, and the Rams, they actually have this. I heard this on the radio. This is unbelievable. They have a pro scouting department and a college scouting department. So the pro guys can work on the free agents, the college guys can work on the draft, and it all comes together. I'm like, wow, what a concept! Not having your scouts scout and work on the game plan, the coaches work game plan, the scout, and it's like, dear God.
All these guys have a 3 to 4 month head start.
Yes,
on the Bengals because the Bengals have their coaches do the draft stuff.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's and the thing is, Brian, it's like it sounds stupid, but there are so many guys like you, like Dale, and you got the guy from the Athletic who does the Beast and all that stuff. They could read some of that stuff too. I mean, there are things they I don't know if they do or not. I have no idea, but it just seems like Duke talks about, last year wasn't good enough. We got to do better. I want pass rush. I want this. Great. And he says, nobody wants to win more than, and he named everybody, me, Zach, Katie, Elizabeth, Trey, Troy, Mike Brown Jr. Cool. Then do it. You got me going now. You've got Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, the best trio you have ever had in your franchise history. Most teams would kill to have those guys on their team. And we missed the playoffs 3 years in a row because you wouldn't spend money to keep guys. You drafted wrong. You signed the wrong free agents. It's just it's so hard to screw this up. I know it's really hard to win the Super Bowl, but this year, Brian, they could have beat a lot of these teams that are in the playoffs. The quarterback play alone was awful in the AFC. Joe Burrow would have been so much better than Josh Allen or CJ Stroud or hell.
Drake May.
Yeah, he's been awful. They got to the Super Bowl despite him. I mean, that's what is so freaking frustrating. The roster construction has been awful. That's what they got to fix. And I get so tired of people like, well, they're stubborn. You can't be that stubborn. Like it's just I don't understand that how you think what you're doing is working. Like they got to change something. Like if you're not going to change and add more people, then you got to work even harder. That's what I think. I don't know. Since you got to be going off on it now.
And it's doubly bad for you guys because you also pulled for the Reds, who are basically the baseball Bengals.
Yeah, but they signed Gino Suarez yesterday, so I'm excited about that. They actually went above and beyond their quote unquote payroll, so that got me excited. They did something they said they weren't going to do, which is what I want the Bengals.
And then 2 years from now, you'll trade Nelly De La Cruz to the Dodgers.
Probably. We got 3 years till that happens. He's gonna get a $500 million. Like we ain't gonna.
No,
not going to be on the side.
You guys ain't paying that.
No. And next year there's not going to be baseball, I don't think, because they're going to go on strike and the owners are going to try to fix this, which we'll see if they fix it or not.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, you got the Dodgers that are literally just pay whatever they want for whoever they want. You can't, and I'm not ever asking the Reds to do that. I'm asking them to do what they did now. They got themselves a bat. Honestly, if we stay healthy, we are going to contend for the NL Central in this. They've got a good enough team now to contend. They got to stay healthy. We'll see what happens. The teams in the division have also gotten better, but the Reds got better. The bullpen got better. The starting pitching is good. If they can get a consistent offense, if they score 4 runs a game, they're going to win most of the games this year. That was the problem last year. They didn't score enough. So, anyway, welcome to Draft Talk with Strawberry Ice and Brian.
We've got the venting portion out of the way. Yes, we can get back to the draft now.
Yes, exactly. I vent a lot on here. I got an hour to fill every day. All right. So, what are some diamonds in the rough that you think might be worth not necessarily taking a ride? Because I don't really want them to take big risks. I want guys that are hell. Hopefully, we can get some really good players in the 5th and 6th round. That's what I'm really. I hope this draft is that good this year. But who are some guys 5th, 6th, 7th round that you think might be there that the Bengals could choose that could be an impact for them?
So if you wait until late, decide you want to get an edge later on in the draft, 5th, 6th round, there's guys I think that are going to be around. Western Michigan, Nadeem Tucker, I think 12.5, 13.5 sacks this season for Western Michigan. Had 2 sacks in the Senior Bowl game on Saturday. 6'3", 250. So a bit I think that's not his unofficial height. I don't have that on this page, but that's his I think he actually measured in a little bit lighter than that. I'm sorry, he measured in under 6'2". So he's 6'1" and 3/4, 246. So like I said, that's going to push him down. He's a situational pass rusher, which is what you're looking for in the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah.
That'd be some other guys. I'm like maybe 3rd round. I'm higher on Dennis Sutton from Penn State. I love that guy. I think he's a starter at the NFL level. Maybe not immediately, but I think he eventually gets there. Max Llewellyn from Iowa, 6'5", 255. Just another solid player. Nigel Kelly from UCF, 6'5", 239. Long arms, 35-inch arms on Kelly, 10-inch hands. These are guys that I think are 5th round guys that could be appealing. Quintavious Hutchins from Boston College, another smaller guy. He's probably a linebacker if I had to say it, just based on his measurements at 6'2". Where did it go? 6'2 and a half, 229. That's linebacker size at the NFL. level. But you get into, like I said, we mentioned these slot. I mentioned a handful of tight ends I like late. You got some slot guys, day 3 guys that could have that impact, especially on the return game. Colin Lacey from Louisville, one of the best return men in college football this year, and he's fast. Like, he's going to be super fast. He's going to run fast at the combine. Lewis Bond was another one that I didn't know anything about out of Boston College this week, and he had a good week at the Senior Bowl. So I'm just naming Senior Bowl guys at this point.
Right. Good. You just saw them there. Yeah.
Because that's the freshest thing in my mind.
Right. So I got a question. How would you rate it if it did work out that the Bengals got Caleb Downs and the first round they got Peter Woods in the second round? Would that be hitting it out of the ballpark?
That's an A+ draft, right?
Yeah, that would be.
You're getting a defensive tackle with interior pass rush at not a premium price,
right?
And you're getting a playmaker that completely changes the way you can play defense in the first round, right? I mean, that's a defense altering,
right?
First 2 picks.
And they would both. I know Caleb Downs. I think they both be starters right off.
Right out of the rip. I think those two guys are starters.
So hopefully Peter Woods keeps dropping. Let's hope. All right, we got some questions here in the chat here. All right, Mike, what's Landon Robinson from Navy? He had 6.5 sacks for a defensive tackle. What's your thoughts on him?
He's another undersized guy. I think he would probably, comparing him to Bengals just size-wise, maybe I'm off base here, but I think the production is similar to Cam Sample at Tulane.
Okay.
And I think that's the roles would be similar. I think he's an early day, probably a 4th round guy, maybe 5th round. I think the roles would be similar for Landon Robinson out of Navy, as similar to Cam Sample out of Tulane.
Now here's another guy that I'm a Bearcat homer. I would love to see them get, but Brian, where do you see Dante Corleone getting drafted?
So at the Shrine, he was at the East-West Shrine.
Right.
Didn't weigh in.
Ooh, okay.
He measured everything else: hands, arms, wing, height. Didn't step on the scale. He only practiced 1 day.
Oh, that's not good.
That was the first day of practice. I watched the film from the Shrine practice. Sloppy is the best way to put it. The way I'm not saying he maybe he just didn't have time to work out, and that's the only reason he didn't show up. But I hope between now and Indy, he gets in better shape, because it was bad. He looked bad, and he looked bad in the drills too because of it. You could tell he was carrying
too much,
20 plus pounds of excess. Like, he had to weigh in at 3. He had to be 345.
Woo, that's too big for him.
That's way too big. I mean, what is his listed weight? Let's see. His listed weight is
320, 330,
325 is what he's listed at. 6'1", 325. I can't remember what his official height measurements was from the East-West, but like I said, he didn't weigh in. Yeah. So, and when I saw the film and I saw him in the drills, I'm like, that dude's a clean 345, 350, and that's why he didn't weigh in.
Yeah. He needs
to get that in check between now and the end of the month. I don't know if he can clean that up between now and March 1st or whatever, but he needs to.
That's not a good start there. All right, let's see here. Houday says I think we have to go Downs, Mason, Orange, and then add a linebacker free agent and get a good tight end in the draft. He's got out of Wisconsin. Is there a tight end out of Wisconsin? I think that's what he's talking about. No, okay. Well, then I don't know what you mean by out of Wisconsin there.
There was a receiver out of Wisconsin, but I didn't see I don't have a tight end on my board at this point anyway.
All right, let's go with this one there. Edward. Brian, what's your thoughts on Caleb Tiedemann?
I've got him as my number 9 offensive tackle, and that probably puts him in the 3rd round at this point. He could be that swing tackle that we talked about that they could be in the market for, depending on what the cost is draft pick wise. Is he available in the 4th round?
Sorry, go ahead.
And there's another tackle out of Texas A&M that had a good week at the Senior Bowl, Demetrius Crownover. Now he had a bad tape against Miami, but but he had a good week down here. But yeah, those are two guys I think would be in that swing tackle market.
I speak good English.
That we would target there. A couple others like Austin Barber from Florida, Drew Shelton from Penn State, a couple other those late day 2, early day 3 offensive tackles.
Is there any, because we're going to have to eventually address left tackle. I don't think it's happening this year. Orlando's got one more year, I think, on his contract, but just crazy to ask you this, but is there a guy like that we could draft to be our swing tackle that could either play right tackle, you hit Mims over, or that guy could play left tackle in this draft that they could get later on the rounds that you can see? It's a big ass. It's a big ass.
Yeah. Maybe Isaiah World from Oregon. I think he was their left tackle this year, transferred in from Nevada. He's a big guy, 6'8", listed at 6'8", 309.
Yeah, that's a big dude.
We'll see what his combine numbers come in at. Maybe he doesn't get Diego Pavia when he weighs in.
Is that a thing now, Diego Pavia?
I mean, Vanderbilt had him listed at 6 foot 220, and he weighed in at 5'9", 197.
5'9". Dude, and like I was watching Senior Bowl practice, and just one of his screen passes was woo, way over, because he hit the guy, but he could barely see over the top of the guy. I mean, and I got this argument with, well, I didn't get this argument. My Greg and a couple other guys got an argument about Pavia, and Greg's like, well, there's been short quarterbacks that do good all the time. It's like, there's like 3 or 4. There's not that many. Pavia is really friggin' short. If he's 6 foot, 6'2", I mean, he's getting drafted pretty high, I think.
He's a fun college quarterback. Let's leave it at that. He's Johnny Manziel-esque without the draft capital that was spent on Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. So do you think he gets drafted?
If he does, it's late.
Yeah. When
I saw the weigh-in numbers, I immediately texted someone and said, I hope he needs to learn to speak Canadian here pretty quick.
And get used to the cold, because it's colder up there. All right, Hooday's got one here. Mason Ringer, he's a defensive end.
I had no idea who this guy was before the East-West Shrine Bowl.
Okay.
And watched the practice tape, was dominant in practice. In the game, I think he had 3 sacks in the game. Now, they had like 45 guys defect before the game, so that could have been on some slapstick tackle they picked up like at the last minute. He got some of those sacks on, but still, though, I mean, he was getting this kind of rush in the game. I have to go back and, check out, because he wasn't on my radar at all. So he's a guy I'm definitely going to have to go back and deep dive on to see if there's anything there, but he was dominant at the East-West Shrine practices.
All right, this is a good one here from Houday too. What's your favorite draft targets? You mentioned the linebacker already.
Yeah, I'd be lying to you if I told you I've dove deep into free agency, because that's not really my jam.
Yeah.
But I know one guy that just out of, I don't know, selfishness and love, that is a free agent, but it's going to cost way too much money to be the number 3 wide receiver on this team. But I would love Deebo Samuel on this team. But it's I just don't think that's going to be in the cards there. That might be out of the price point there.
Yeah.
For free agency targets on this team for what would essentially be the 3rd wide receiver, but that'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'd be definitely interested to see that. All right, Mike here says the tight end from Wisconsin, Lance Mason, 30 receptions, 389 yards, and 4 TDs.
Do I even have him on my board? Now I have to look. You've got me curious.
See, was a Wisconsin tight end.
I didn't have him in my top 30 tight ends, so I do have him on my board. He played at the Shrine. He played at the Hula Bowl. So he was a call up late from the Hula Bowl. Apparently transferred from Missouri State to Wisconsin. So the production was there this season. He's 6'3", 246. Short arms, big hands.
You know, the short arm, big hand guys, you know. Where are you on the short arms? Big arms, long arms? I mean,
it depends on the position. It's totally position dependent. I want my tackles to have long arms. I want my defensive ends to have long arms. I want my defensive ends to have longer arms than offensive tackles, right? Because it's all about hand usage. But you got to know how to use them, right?
Right.
You know, you got to have the ability to use it. So it's all has to come together. But it's for a lot of NFL teams, I know that they have a number, and it's basically just a way to whittle down the draft board, right? So you don't go in and have 400 names listed on draft day that you're trying to whittle through. You want to get rid of the clutter, and so the size measurables are a way for them to declutter the draft board, so to speak. I watched an interview with the Saints GM Mickey Loomis the other day, and I am no fan of Mickey Loomis. If you follow me on Twitter, if you watch my podcast on our YouTube channel, I have a running joke, a gag about Mickey Loomis almost every week on that show. But he mentioned something that their draft board, they go into the draft. He said that's why they don't ever trade down. He said they always go up. They go into the draft with like 100 players on their board.
Wow.
And that's why they have guys that, okay, we've got two players left on our board. And so we're going to go up and get them in the 5th or 6th round.
Wow. What that's a crazy concept. You zero in on the guys you want and you actually go get them and don't just sit there and wait for them to pray to God that the team in front of you doesn't take them. I mean,
like I said, there's some qualities to like about the man. There's other qualities of, like I said, basically he needs some cap stability there.
He needs a capologist with him.
It's crazy. Didn't the cap just go up the other day, or they're saying it's going to go up like $50 million, and they're still in the hole?
That's crazy. That is, yeah. I don't. Like I said, I want the Bengals to spend at least up to it. That would be nice, but we'll probably never see that. All right, who's got another one here? Favorite linebacker project: Landon Burton from Utah, Jake Galladay out of Cincinnati.
So I mentioned this earlier, and we talked about last year, and what was a weak linebacker class. The Bengals double dipped with Demetrius Knight, Gamecock, God bless him. You know, highest missed tackle rate in the NFL.
Does he make it to his second contract? Because he'll be
29 on his second contract. He was a 25-year-old rookie.
Yeah, I don't even know he makes it to his second contract.
If he does, he's not getting a long one.
No.
And then Barrett Carter, second highest missed tackle rate in the league.
Yep.
I mean, he was Clemson. He's from Clemson. He was trash anyway. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. But this is a year to get linebackers, and they are fun. This is a good group. I told someone the other day the national team linebackers in practice was the best overall position group of any team position group at the Senior Bowl this year.
Nice.
Just the play that they were constantly making plays. I mean, in the one-on-one drills, the coverage drills, they're covering these running backs. Like normally that's a running back tight end drill where they win. These linebackers were handling business. And I'm talking Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech.
What would that be like? Having a linebacker be able to cover a tight end. Interesting.
You know, but Jacob Rodriguez from Texas Tech, who won every single defensive award you can win. He came down here.
Yeah. He's awesome. Yeah.
You know, came down here, dominated. Great, great player. Kyle Lewis from Pittsburgh. He's undersized. He's 5'11", 220 pounds, but he was really good this week. Caleb Alarms is a guy the Bengals could probably draft on day 3 out of TCU. He's another one that had just run and cover. Bryce Betcher, Oregon, former baseball player. You know, he was a center fielder, hit like 400 or something at Oregon.
Jeez.
Never made an error.
Did he get drafted in the MLB?
I think so, but he gave all that up and started playing football. He's really good at it. He's a day 3 guy. Xavier Sorey Jr. from Arkansas is another one that I really liked at the Senior Bowl this week. Then you've got others. He mentioned Lander Barton. I'm a fan. Good size. Good.
What about Galladay? My boy out of UC. What's your thoughts on him?
He's another one. Good size.
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he didn't play in the All-Star game. I think he was banged up, so he backed out of I think he was supposed to go to the East-West, but he backed out. Like I said, I can probably go 25 deep on this linebacker group. And there was another one at the East-West Shrine that I want on this team. Okay. As like a sixth, seventh round pick, Eric Gentry out of Southern Cal. What were his? Let me give you his measurements here because this was insane for a linebacker. Here we go. Eric Gentry, 6'6", 221, 10.5-inch hands, 35 and a quarter inch arms, 85 and 5'8" wingspan.
Yes, please. Yes.
Get me this guy in the nickel and passing lanes.
Ooh. Man, you're getting me excited about that guy. And you think he's gonna be there? What you said, third?
I think he's there, and I think he goes. I think he's a day 3 linebacker.
Ooh, maybe
because I don't know how he's going to test, but he transferred over from Arizona State. He's a 5th-year guy, so he's redshirted.
Do you ever go to the combine? Do you ever go to that?
Can't drive to the combine; it's too far.
I'm going to drive to it. I go every year.
You're 75 miles away.
Well, you really could drive to it.
I mean, I could, but I'm just not. That's like a 14-hour haul.
Yeah, it's a bit of a drive.
That's a haul for me. The Senior Bowl is 3 miles from my house. If the Senior Bowl wasn't 3 miles from my house, I wouldn't go.
Yeah, it literally takes me an hour to 45 minutes to get there.
Brother, if it ain't Disney, I ain't driving.
There you go. All right, Pork Chop's got one more, and I'll get you out of here on this one. Speaking of linebackers, tell me about Harold Perkins. Where does he go? He says, I see him as a pass rusher.
Everybody remembers Harold Perkins as a true freshman, just wrecking shop as a pass rusher.
Yep. Then
he's been hurt. Mm-hmm. And this and that. So he spent the last 3 years, because he's undersized. Make no mistake about it. He played at the East-West this week, measured in at, let's see. Where are you, Harold Perkins? Here we go. 6 foot, a little over 6 foot even, 222, 31.5-inch arms. He's small.
Yeah.
But
quick.
He's so fast. And he can rush the passer. I think he can rush the passer in the gaps. I think he can rush the passer off the edge when the situation calls for it.
So where you got him going? Is he like late, like day 3, day 4, or before that?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I don't know how the NFL is going to view his size. I've got him as the 7th ranked linebacker in this class. I don't know where that comes off the board. I think it's day 2.
Okay.
I think it's late 2nd, early 3rd is where he ends up coming off.
So he can really help himself out at the combine if he shows off.
Yes, I think he's going to run. I think he's going to run fast.
Yeah.
I think he is going to hit in that 4.5 or low 4.5 range.
There you go.
Maybe faster than that. I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't know how NFL teams think about him. I know how the Bengals are going to think about him is we're not drafting him because of the size. He's not going to fit their size profile.
Yeah. They are stuck on a certain criteria for what size they want players in certain positions, and he
ain't it.
He ain't it. So, Brian, as always, I appreciate it. We're just getting started in draft season. I will contact you again when I get closer around the combine and stuff. But I appreciate you coming on. Make sure you plug some stuff before I let you go, brother.
Yeah, man. Like I said, you can see my at Deep Fried Draft. That's my Twitter account. You head to Draft Countdowns at Draft Countdown. DraftCountdown.com, man. We have mock drafts every week. We have position rankings. We have all kinds of coverage over there. Team-specific mock drafts. I'm going to do a Bengals one next week, I think. I can't remember. I have to look at the schedule. But we also do the YouTube, and you can head over there, youtube.com/The Draft Countdown. Follow us, subscribe to us over there, man. We do some good stuff. I do a weekly show. We do some team mock draft videos. It's good stuff.
Awesome, Brian. As always, great stuff. I can sit here and talk draft with you all day long. You educate me just sitting there talking to you. So I appreciate you coming on, brother.
I mean, anytime.
Take it easy. Hooday.
Hooday.
All right, guys. As always, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Hooday, I saw your comment there, but he's been on for an hour. I need to let him go. Make sure you can DM him or ask him that on Twitter. And he'll be glad to answer it for you. I'll get him back on again here soon. And tomorrow Mark your calendars. Now, if you subscribe to the YouTube show, this is what I was telling you. Hit the bell for the notification because I will be on tomorrow at 11 a.m. Reason being, because I got Reds TV broadcaster, John Sadak. Now, we will talk to him about what's going on with the Reds' new TV deal, Eugenio Suarez, and anything else. If you guys ever notice, you hear his voice doing college basketball. I think he did some NFL football this year, too. He is all over the place. He is a great broadcaster. I'm so happy he is with Cincinnati Reds. So make sure you mark your calendars tomorrow at 11 a.m. John Sadak will be on the show.
All right, shout out to my sponsors. They are Priority Lawn and Landscaping for all your lawn and landscaping needs. You need your grass cut, you need your shrubbery trimmed, I don't know, you need a paper patio, you need anything. I mean anything. Landscaping required. Think Priority Lawn and Landscaping. Also, shout out to T Properties, quality housing for quality people. Check out the website at www.tpropertiesllc.com for all your rental property management needs and your rental needs. And of course, Meyer Window, Door, and more. I got them in my house. I highly recommend you get them in yours. They're energy efficient, great looking windows, easy to clean. Meyer Window, Door, and more. The website is MeyerCincinnati.com. And also shout out to my favorite brewery, Moorline Lager House. Get on down there, get you some delicious Moorline beer, some delicious Moorline food. And tell them I sent you. Moorline Lager House.
As always, thank you for watching. I've been live streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Twitch, Instagram. You can follow me on all those, along with Threads and TikTok. And do me a favor, check out my Substack. I write some articles on there. I did a little short piece about a Eugenio Suarez, his deal, what it means for the Reds. As far as the Reds go, I still hope they pick up a backup middle infielder. To me, that's the one thing left to do. Shouldn't be too hard to get that. We'll see what happens here. Pitchers and catchers report next week. Tomorrow again, John Sadak is on the show. So make sure you like, subscribe, share. I will be pulling off the sound later on tonight, put it on the podcast. It's on BeanPod, Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Google, Stitcher Play, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. Do me a favor. Well, listen to it, rate it, like it, review it, leave a comment and a 5-star review so more Cincinnati fans can find my podcast. Other than that, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. Remember one thing and one thing only, that is Who Dey for life. And everybody throw it up. Veteran Sports, baby. See ya!
Another great show. You guys still here? The show's over. You can come back tomorrow. I'm out of here. See ya.